What's going on, everybody? My name is Sister, and welcome back to another Minecraft episode. In the last episode, we went ahead and actually got ourselves a beacon, as well as a few pieces of netherite. It's really just the boots and the pickaxe, but, there's more for another day. And the main plans for today are to dig a giant hole and go ahead and start working on a mob farm. Also being said, I did have a comment from a user named Skinny, and he wanted to know what mods I am using on the server, so I figured I would go ahead and just talk about those really quick. So I use two different types of mods. So I actually run my mods in two different ways. I actually run my own personal server. I'm running an Ubuntu virtual machine on my computer right now, and this is how I handle my server. I just like to have my client and my server as two different entities. It allows me to have a lot higher tick warp speeds, and my server runs a lot better. It's a lot easier to maintain backups and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I do. So looking at the server side for the mods that I use, first we start with the Fabric API. Fabric API is crucial for running any Fabric type mods. And then the biggest mod I use after that is the Fabric Carpet and the Carpet Extra mod. These just allow a ton of special features such as the auto crafting, dispensers placing blocks. Dispensers pretty much get a ton of functionality from this mod and everything like that, and that's one of my favorite things. And there's also like movable block entities, so you can actually push chests, dispensers, furnaces, pretty much any block inside the game around with pistons and stuff. So Carpet Mod is huge, and if you ever want to develop any mob farms, any redstone contraptions, it is essential to have for things like the tick warp, where you can speed up time. You can do hours of testing in just minutes, so it's a crucial mod to have. Next, I have Lithium. Lithium is a server-side mod that actually boosts performance of the mod. They climb up by 40%, and I have seen the tick warps go up quite a large amount when I do run the Lithium on top of my server. So Lithium's a good server-side mod that I personally like to run. And then I have the Zaros minimap and the Zaros world map. These sit on my server side just so that when I go into my map and stuff, you can see down here that the map selection is based on the server. So I actually can log onto multiple servers with the same IP address, and it will actually differentiate the maps based on kind of just the server that is currently running the map. So this is nice because all my creative worlds and everything run on the same IP address. And yeah, otherwise the maps just like load over each other and stuff like that. So that's why I go ahead and put that on the server side. After that, I'll go ahead and show you guys my client side mods. So for my client side mods, I'll go over these quickly. Again, we start off, we have the Fabric API. This is just what allows you to run any Fabric-based mods. It's crucial, it's essential, you're gonna need it. Next, we'll go down, and I actually have OptiFabric. Now, OptiFabric is going to allow you to run Optifine inside of the Fabric mod. This is really nice because otherwise you either have the choice of only running Optifine or you can't run it inside of Fabric. So OptiFabric actually allows you to run Optifine with the Fabric mod. After that, I use the Replay mod. This is kind of a creator tool. So this is what I use to actually go ahead and do all my time lapses, all those kind of like motion, all that track, the rails you see the time lapses rolling across on. That's all made with the Replay mod. It's an incredibly useful mod if you're planning on doing videos and stuff yourself. I would definitely highly recommend figuring it out, learning how to use it, and how to use it efficiently. And then after that, I have the Zaros minimap and world map on my client side as well. This is how I'm able to open up things like my world map, and I'm also able to run a minimap and show the slime chunks inside the minimap. After that, we go and we can see that I have something called my Little Lib, and what this is pretty much an API that allows you to use a developer named Musa. He has created what's called Lightmatica and MiniHub. He also has a bunch of other mods as well, but these do run off of this My Little Lib, so this is a crucial mod to run Lightmatica and MiniHub. Now, MiniHUD is pretty much a display information kind of mod, so it allows me to, if I go ahead and hit this up here, you can see up in my top corner, there are really small coordinates and stuff. So pretty much what that allows you to do is run stuff like that, and it also allows me to go ahead and hit buttons like this, where I can actually see the light level of every single block. Let me go ahead and sleep really quick. But here you can see that it shows a light level of every single block around, and if I were to put something like a beacon down, you can actually see it shows you where mobs can spawn and cannot spawn. So this will show you like 7, 6, 5, this is where you'd know like, oh hey, I need to put down a torch or something. You could go ahead, grab out a torch, and then actually know easily where you need all this at, and then with a click of a button, you can turn it all off. After that, we have Lightmatica. Now what Lightmatica allows you to do is create things like schematics. So if I go ahead and hit the letter M, I can go up here and I can see like, hey, I can load my schematics. And these are just random schematics that I've made. So say I want to make something like, I don't know, my sand farm. Say I want to do this again. I could go ahead and hit load schematic and it would load it up into there. Or I could go into the material list and see each item that is actually used to build the schematic. Now, once I have the schematic loaded, it'll pretty much just load inside of an area, and then you can hold a stick, and you kind of just hold Alt, and you can move around your schematic. So this is how I build pretty much all my complex redstone contraptions that I don't have completely memorized. And it's a very common mod to be used. A lot of big builds will be made inside Creative. You can then save a schematic and then bring it over to your world. And this is essential if you're doing large redstone builds and stuff like that. So like if you go over here, you can see the schematic for my iron farm, or for this tree farm, is actually still mostly laid out. And of course I did use different types of blocks, so it's a little mad about that. But you can see that in here it tells me all the blocks that I did need. And where that blue block is right there, that's a missing block. So it'll show me that like, oh hey, you still need a leaf block there. And it'll kind of show you the block you need. And it's really nice too, because if you have it open and everything, you can actually hit your middle mouse wheel on the schematic block and it'll actually load out those blocks. Of course, I don't have all these wools and stuff, but if I did, I could hit middle mouse wheel and it would actually pull this to my hotbar. So if you have everything pre-made already the way you want it, it is incredibly useful and it saves you a ton of time. It also helps you know that everything is in the right position. Like things like observers and comparators, it'll actually say like, oh hey, this is in the wrong position. So like you need to put this back to like tick 1. So if I move it to anything else, it'll kind of give me a warning, and this helps you know that everything is in the right position. Other than that, that is pretty much all the mods that I mostly use. All of these client-side mods right here, you can pretty much load up today, and you can log on to any server, any realm, and you can actually use these dependent on if the server has any mods on it. This is completely client-side, so you can do any of these yourself. All the other mods are server-side, so they are out of your control. They are something that I put on my server myself, and they just help mostly like the efficiency of the server and just being able to run everything that I'm running, especially the carpet mod. The carpet mod is like the main server-side mod that I do run. I did forget to add in my datapacks. I do run quite a few datapacks on my server, and this is kind of the general list. I would say some of the nicest ones to have. Spawning sphere is really nice. This allows me to pretty much figure out everything, like where mobs won't spawn next to me and how far away they can spawn. I got like spectator stuff, raw tracking values. This kind of just gives you a little ping if your items get close to breaking. Unlock all recipes is probably one of my favorite data packs, just because it's so nice coming onto a server and having everything unlocked already. I can go into my book and I can search it before I even have ran into the supplies, so I can actually know how to craft everything. I do use vanilla tweaks to get a few alternative crafting recipes. Wandering Traders is nice. If you ever watch Hermitcraft and you wonder how they get all the micro blocks and everything, this is actually the Wandering Trader, and it is a data pack that allows you to get like micro blocks. You could trade in blocks for micro blocks. Multiplayer sleep, of course, so you can have one person sleep on a server. More mob heads. This is how I get the mob heads that are not typically available inside the game. This allows every mob in the game to drop a head that doesn't already have a head drop. Custom nether portals. This is something you'll probably see later on, but it allows you to make just like random shapes with your portals. It also allows you to add crying obsidian as a portal frame, which is really cool because it gives a nice design. Count mob deaths. This is kind of just a testing thing. Armor status, I don't even really remember what that one is. I do have anti-gas strafing, so if you ever see me get shot by a gas, that is why nothing actually gets blown up around me. And as well as anti-Enderman griefing. Anti-Enderman griefing is really nice because if you didn't know, Enderman will actually pick up blocks randomly. So say an Enderman picks up a grass block and teleports to a cave with it. That Enderman will now no longer despawn, and it will hold a mob cap. So I would say out of all the data packs that are the most crucial, anti-Enderman griefing is one of the most crucial to have. This is just because Endermen will not despawn once they have blocks, and that, yeah, like I said, it holds mob caps, that causes lag, and it makes your farms less efficient. So yeah, those are the data packs I do use, and there's just a few alternative recipes in there, but as I go through the season, you'll probably see me use some of those recipes. I have things like being able to craft name tags, being able to like unpack blue ice, I don't even remember what else. There's like unpacking certain things. You're like able to turn slabs back into normal blocks, stuff like that. So there's just a few little things. I'll put a link down to Vanilla Tweaks. That's where I get all my data packs and stuff from. So I hope that helped. I hope it wasn't too long, and I hope I encourage you to go out and find some mods of your own. These are definitely some of the most helpful mods that I've ever found as like a redstone user and everything. They just save so much time in the build process and the testing and prototyping and stuff like that. So huge shout out to Nimbom, Musa, and anyone else that has worked to help develop any of those mods. Thank you very much. These are absolutely incredible mods, and yeah, they saved me hours, and they probably inspired me to actually keep playing this game. So with all that being said, I think what we decided last time was that I am going to go ahead and start working on a mob farm. And the whole reason I went to the Nether, got that beacon and everything, was because I want to dig this whole area right here down to bedrock. I'm not going to do like a whole perimeter, but I am going to efficiently kind of just dig out the area, make sure there's no blocks over it, get into those sub-chunks, and kind of just make a proper small farm. After that, I'll go ahead and light up all the caves inside the area, but that's going to be for off camera. And yeah, that being said, this next part's probably going to be a time lapse, so I will see you guys on the other side. Okay, guys, so that took an insanely long amount of time. I really don't know overall if that was actually worth my time or not. After I don't even know how long. I probably spent 8 or 9 hours digging this hole, and then another 3 or 4 hours lighting up all those caves. Yeah, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work to do alone, and I pretty much hammered it all out in one day. So, if you're wondering if it worked or not, this is pretty funny. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, we got slimes. We got a lot of slimes, and I would pretty much call that successful. The big problem is now that I actually have to get down there, and I have to stop all those slime spawning somehow. And I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. Honestly, I think I'm gonna make a ledge, spawn a bunch of iron golems in, drop them down, and just hope for the best. And then once they're all down there, I think I'm gonna go and try to slab everything that is not the slime chunks. Probably just slab everything down there at this point because yeah, it's there's a lot down there. Oh, and the diamonds look pretty cool. There's one diamond chunk, there's another diamond chunk, a couple more there and there, and another one there. So, if things go well, I'll show you guys me mining those, but oh my gosh. I'm not ready to go deal with all these slimes. Good luck, little guy. Oh, you have a war ahead of you. Let me try to get you some ferns as fast as I can. Okay. Kind of out of this corner down here. See if I can get down here. Get a couple more guys going. Guess I've been enlisted into this war now, too. Okay, so I got all this stuff slabbed over. I think we should be safe for a little while now. And all my iron golems have gone back to their corner, so we look good. So what I'm thinking is I think I'm going to start with the slime farm today because I am tired and I was looking at the resources I want to build my mob farm. And I think I can do something pretty cool down here, but I'm going to need a lot of slime for it, so I might as well get the slime farm working first. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do just like a basic slime farm. And pretty much I'm just going to build spawning platforms about 2 high, and then where each of these 3 wide gaps are, I think I'm going to put an iron golem. So pretty much anything that spawns inside this area should automatically wander over here. And then I'm going to dig out these walls here just a little ways, and gonna put magma blocks, so they should hopefully see the iron golem. They should come over here, they should fall down, and then there should be a bunch of magma blocks. So even if they're the little bit bigger size, they should instantly die on top of these magma blocks. And then I think I'm just gonna do like a rail cart system. I think I'm gonna do 3 in line, and then I'm gonna have them go underneath where the magma blocks are, just pick everything up and drop it off over here. So I am just gonna go ahead and get started on all that. Oh, this is a good little example. I just finished my first row, and here comes the slime going to my iron golems. Nice. So pretty much what I've done is I went ahead and kind of just made these guys their little cages, got them each a little window, and the idea is that any slimes that now spawn on any of these platforms will see the iron golems and hopefully just right away walk over here, and then they'll fall onto the magma, and at that point they will turn into slime balls. So now I just have to go ahead and keep digging this up and just kind of continue this whole platform. So I think I'm going to make it 2 high, and that should allow the medium size slimes to spawn and the small ones, but not the giant ones, because we don't want the giant ones inside this machine. Okay, so I'm in spectator for just a minute. Yeah, I went ahead and ended up making it 3 high actually, because I had it 2 high and I left it for quite a while and I never saw a single slime spawn. And then the second I made it 3 high, it actually started spawning slimes again right away. So this does unfortunately still mean that it spawns large slimes, but I don't know why this guy isn't targeting. This guy likes, sometimes they like to wander around, and I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, so as you can see, usually the guys will end up spawning in, and then they'll end up targeting the iron golem and hopping into the magma. For some reason, they occasionally like to wander around, and I can't figure out why, but hopefully for the most part, especially once I get everything finished, hopefully they end up just wandering over to the iron golems every time. So it doesn't look like any of my iron golems have actually gotten hit by any of the slimes, which is really good to see. So I guess we just have to keep building this up and see how it goes. So a quick little tip, if you already know that your observer is going to get triggered when you put down your power rail, if you put it facing the observer and then you actually turn it away, when the rail turns, it will send another pulse down the observer, and that's a way you can easily double trigger the observer. So you can toggle something on and then toggle it off. So you can actually put down your rail line when you need it. Okay guys, so it's kind of a weird spot to end the episode. I know I'm not quite done with the farm and everything, but I think it's still gonna be like a little while. I gotta go do some more resource gathering, and I'd really like to just edit this video and get it out for you guys because, I don't know, the majority, the intro, the time lapse and everything, I think it's all in a pretty good place, and I kind of want to be putting out content every 2 days or so, 3 days at the most if a project really gets me behind. I'd like to do daily uploads, but with things like this, I mean, I don't think it's going to be overly possible. So I think I'm going to start aiming for like bi-daily uploads and stuff like that, daily if I can. But yeah, so if you are really following, if you watch to the end of all the episodes and stuff like that, that's kind of the schedule I think I'm going to try to stick with. Is I'm going to attempt for daily uploads, but it's probably going to be bi-daily. And if it takes 3 days, you know something's really big is coming. So, that being said, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day or night, whatever sleep cycle you're on, and I will see you guys this weekend for another episode. Goodbye.